Welcome to this video on swing trading stock market. Another great setup with Bollinger Bands. This is part 2 of a little mini series. If you want to see part 1, just type in swing trading stock market / great setup with Bollinger Bands. Maybe add Top Dog Trading in there and you'll find it in YouTube. But you can watch this one first. They're not in any particular order. They're just two different setups using Bollinger Bands for swing trading. Actually, you can use it for day trading as well and other markets as well. But particularly works well with the stock market for swing trading. That's mostly how I use it. Okay, so let's jump right into it. As you'll see here, first of all, let's talk about what the settings are. So we're using Bollinger Bands with a setting of 2 and 14. So 14 period and 2 standard deviation. That's what I personally use. You can try with other settings as well. And this is a really good setup. Now the last one that we looked at, just as a little reminder, the previous one was where you get a real body that occurs outside of the Bollinger Band, either the upper Bollinger Band or the lower Bollinger Band. And depending on the type of setup you have, it's a reversion to the mean setup back to the 15 EMA. Generally in this kind of situation, it would just be a little scalp trade. And I like to do it with options on daily charts. That's how I personally like to do it, but you can use other things as well, as I said before. Okay, now this setup that we're teaching today is quite different. So here it is. So the market goes up and price touches the upper Bollinger Band. Now, here's the key. After it does that, then you get a higher high that does not touch the upper Bollinger Band and then comes back down. So both of these are different signals. This one comes down. This, by the way, is the 15 exponential moving average, this black line. And then this moving average here, this green and red one, that is the 50 period simple moving average. So it is showing a shift of momentum, if you will, a little weakness there. And Bollinger Bands can be used a couple of different ways. Number one is to measure volatility, but they can also be used to measure strength and even trend. So they have multiple uses if you know how to read them. Now the key on this one is that we're also using other things along with it. So here's my cycle indicator. And by the way, it's half of the cycle indicator. Actually, we use this as the primary kind of signals, but then there's another aspect of it, another line we put in there to actually give us kind of a leading indication beyond the actual cycle indicator. And if you'd like that, feel free to email me at barry@topdogtrading.com. I'll actually, for my YouTube subscribers, I actually offer this for free along with a free tutorial on how to trade it. So feel free to send me an email. Make sure you subscribe because it is for YouTube subscribers. And I do sell this, but for you guys, get it for free. Anyway, so I like to use it in conjunction with the cycle indicator, but even if you don't use it with it, the primary thing here is price action in relation to the Bollinger Bands. And then the third thing we want to look at is where are we in the trend. So here you see we're at wave 7, but obviously these are not Elliott waves. Elliott waves can only go up to 5. So wave 7. Now, the significance of that is that it means we are already in an extended trend. The average trend, the way I read waves, is 5 waves. So you can get a 3 wave, that'd be obviously shorter than the average. 5 would be average. Once you get into 7, that's when I start to look to fade the trend, potentially fade the trend. And so this one we would expect a deeper retrace, if not a trend reversal. We don't get a trend reversal here, but it is expanded or extended trend. So then after that, as you can see, what happens is the market basically just goes sideways for a few months, right? February, March, April, and into early May. So that essentially ends that trend. So here's another example of the stock market, swing trading this, and with the Bollinger Bands. So again, I like to put this in the context of the trend. Very important that you understand that really the bottom line of what this signal is telling you is that there's a high probability final cycle high. That's the key. That's the real point here. Then you need to look at where you are in the trend as far as price structure goes, as to how far you expect the market to retrace from that. So here we have an impulse move up. Okay, we've 1, 2, okay, and there's 3. Now, before I go to 3, we get an impulse move up from this cycle low to that cycle high. Now, it touches the upper Bollinger Band here. Then the market makes a higher high, price action makes a higher high, that does not touch the upper Bollinger Band. In fact, it's quite a ways away from it. So then we would expect, okay, that is going to be the final cycle high before we put in a cycle low. That is the real signal that this is giving you. Then for any other signals, you need to look at other components, such as your moving averages, your momentum indicator, the next higher time frame, things like that, to find out what your expectancy of profit will be. But at the very least, I like to see it come back to the 15 EMA. So it comes back down here. Now, if you were to trade options on this, you could buy a put. You'd want to buy something that moves, it's very correlated with the movement of the market, so it's moving fast. You're making money real fast. And because it's just a little scalp trade, these are just scalp trades right now. And that's true until we go up here, and there we get 4. Now again, the average wave is 5 in a trend. Market comes back up, hits the upper Bollinger Band, rides it up. Now look. It hits the Bollinger Band here, then we make higher high, much higher high after touching the Bollinger Band. But where is the Bollinger Band? Way the heck up here, it's even off of the chart. So then we would say, oh, okay, now that is a high probability final cycle high before we put in another cycle low. The difference with this one is we're at a wave 5, which is an average trend. So yeah, I'd expect it to come down to the 15 EMA, and maybe even go lower, because, okay, if it comes down, let's say about a couple of contracts, or if you're doing shares, or if you're doing it with, you can do this with Forex as well, but so lots, contracts, whatever market you're trading. But now that we're at an extended trend, that's actually an average trend, not an extended trend, I'd expect it to come down even further. And that's what it is, and that's on the hard rate of the chart as of today. This is a current chart. And so you've got to look at the context again, what Alan Farley calls the landscape of the chart, to determine what type of reward you would expect out of this. Sometimes people ask me, well, what type of rewards do you expect from your trades? It depends on the trade, right? Depends on the trade. So there you go. Those are the pointers, and works very well for swing trading the stock market, but also Forex, futures. Yes, you can use it with day trading as well if you'd like to, but I find that it works great, and I like to do it especially with options for swing trading personally. That's just my preference. So if you like this video and you're watching it on YouTube, then go ahead and please click the thumbs up icon below and leave a comment, because, well, that really encourages me to leave more free tutorials for you. I love creating these for you, but I like to know that people want them to keep coming. So encourage me by doing that. And also, I've got one of my favorite trade strategies. It's called the rubber band trade, that I will give you absolutely free. It's got a very high win-loss ratio. It's a simple strategy. I can teach it to you in about 26 short minutes. You can get the video explaining that trade strategy by simply clicking on the image in the top left corner, or if you're on a mobile device, click on the little eye with a circle around it in the top right-hand corner of this video. And if you're not watching this video on YouTube, well, there's probably a link below this video or an opt-in form on the side. Once you do that, I'll personally email the video to you along with the rubber band trade setup and rules.